Italian Prime Minister's big statement on Islam. Giorgia Meloni says there is no place for Islam in Europe. Compatibility problem with Islam. Says Islam culture and our values are not compatible. Islamic centers in Italy financed by Saudi is what she said. Islamization distant from our civilization. This is Italian Prime Minister's Islam comment. It's only exploding. Islamic culture and European values are not compatible is what she said. In fact, she was at a right-wing festival where she said Islam and Europe have a compatibility problem. A huge statement coming in from the Italian Prime Minister saying that there is no place for Islam in Europe. They are distant from our own values. Gaurav Sawant, in fact, is getting us more details on that big story. Gaurav, this is a big statement that has been made by the head of a government in Italy there, where she speaks about the fact that we are simply not compatible.
Some aspects of Sharia law are seen as controversial or incompatible with Western legal systems and other religious or secular worldviews. Below are a few examples of such rules or practices that often spark criticism or debate. 1. Capital punishments, adultery. Punishments such as stoning, rarely implemented, for married individuals caught in adultery under strict evidence requirements, e.g., 4 witnesses. Apostasy. Leaving Islam can be punishable by death in some interpretations of Sharia. These punishments are seen as severe and incompatible with human rights laws in many Western countries. 2. Gender inequality in testimony. The testimony of a woman is often considered half that of a man in financial or criminal cases based on some interpretations of Sharia. This is viewed as discriminatory by many, particularly in secular and Western societies advocating gender equality. 3. Inheritance laws. Women generally receive half the inheritance share of male relatives, e.g., daughters inherit half of what sons receive. This contrasts with Western principles of equal inheritance rights. 4. Freedom of religion. Apostasy laws punish Muslims who leave the faith, restricting freedom of belief. Non-Muslims may face restrictions on religious expression in some Muslim-majority countries governed by Sharia. These laws conflict with the concept of religious freedom enshrined in Western constitutions. 5. Punishment for theft. Amputation of the hand as punishment for theft is prescribed in some interpretations of Sharia. Such corporal punishments are deemed inhumane and are banned under international human rights conventions. 6. Marriage practices. Child marriage. Sharia does not set a specific minimum age for marriage. Puberty is often considered a sufficient condition. Polygamy. Men can marry up to 4 wives, provided they treat them equally. Both practices are considered outdated or problematic in many Western countries. 7. Blasphemy laws. Criticism of Islam or the Prophet Muhammad can result in severe punishments, including imprisonment or death in some Sharia-based legal systems. This is seen as a violation of freedom of speech in secular societies. 8. LGBTQ+ rights. Homosexuality is strictly prohibited under Sharia, with punishments ranging from flogging to execution in some countries. This conflicts with Western movements for LGBTQ+ rights and equality. 9. Hudud. Punishments. Fixed punishments for certain crimes, e.g., flogging for drinking alcohol or extramarital sex, are often viewed as cruel and disproportionate by international standards. 10. Restrictions on women. Women may require a male guardian's permission to travel, work, or marry in some Sharia-based legal systems. Dress codes mandating hijab or niqab are enforced in some countries, limiting personal freedom. These practices are seen as infringing on women's rights and personal autonomy. While many Muslim-majority countries interpret and implement Sharia differently, These elements are often at the center of criticism or misunderstanding when viewed through the lens of Western secular values or other religious frameworks.